Ever wondered if all those real estate myths you hear are true? Let's dive in and find out. The world of real estate is brimming with tales and tidbits that have been passed down through generations, each one claiming to hold the secret to successful property investment. But how many of these are fact, and how many are fiction? Perhaps you've heard that you need a colossal 20% down payment to buy a house, or that renting is akin to throwing your money away. And what about the age-old belief that real estate always appreciates over time? These are just a few of the myths that circulate in the realm of property ownership, often leading would-be investors astray. As we embark on this journey, we'll pull apart these myths, examining them under the lens of truth. We'll debunk the misconceptions and lay bare the facts about the real estate market, so buckle up and prepare for an enlightening adventure. Stay tuned as we debunk some of the most common real estate myths. First up on our list of myths is the belief that you need a 20% down payment to buy a house. Now, where does this myth come from? Well, it's quite simple. The traditional mortgage lenders, the banks and credit unions, often suggest a 20% down payment as an ideal benchmark. This is because a 20% down payment eliminates the need for private mortgage insurance, or PMI, an extra cost that lenders typically require when a buyer's down payment is less than 20%. However, this is not a hard and fast rule. In fact, it's more of an old-school guideline than a requirement. So, let's bust this myth wide open. In today's diverse financial landscape, there are numerous loan programs and options that allow for lower down payments. For instance, Federal Housing Administration, or FHA loans, allow down payments as low as 3.5% for borrowers with a credit score of 580 or higher. Similarly, the Department of Veteran Affairs offers VA loans with zero down payment for eligible veterans and military members. And it doesn't stop there. There are also lender-specific programs like the Wells Fargo Your First Mortgage, which allows down payments as low as 3%. And let's not forget first-time homebuyer programs in many states that offer lower down payment options, and sometimes even down payment assistance. Now, it's important to note that lower down payments often come with additional costs like the previously mentioned PMI, or higher interest rates. However, for many people, the ability to get into a home sooner, rather than later, outweighs these additional costs. So, what does this all mean? It means that the 20% down payment myth is just that, a myth. While it can be a good goal to aim for, it's not a necessity. There are plenty of options out there for prospective home buyers with less than 20% to put down. So there you have it. Myth number 1 busted. You don't always need a 20% down payment to buy a house. Next on our list is the common belief that renting is equivalent to throwing money away. Now, this is a myth that has deep roots and has been passed down from generation to generation. Many people hold this belief because they see renting as paying for something you'll never own. It's like buying a car on lease. You're paying for the use, but at the end of the day, you don't own the vehicle. But let's take a moment to debunk this myth. One of the major benefits of renting is flexibility. If you're someone who values the ability to pick up and move without the hassle of selling a home, then renting is a great option. Whether you're looking to explore different cities, or just not ready to settle down, renting allows for that freedom. Next, consider the lower upfront costs. Buying a house requires a substantial amount of money upfront: down payment, closing costs, inspections, and more. On the other hand, renting typically requires just the first and last month's rent, and perhaps a security deposit. This can be much more manageable for those who haven't had the chance to save up a hefty nest egg. And let's not forget about maintenance responsibilities, or rather, the lack thereof, when you're renting. If the furnace breaks down in the middle of a cold winter night, it's not on you to fix it. That's the landlord's responsibility. When you own a home, all repairs and maintenance fall squarely on your shoulders, which can be both time-consuming and costly. So, while it's true that when you rent, you won't end up owning the property, it's not accurate to say that you're throwing money away. You're paying for a place to live, flexibility, lower upfront costs, and freedom from maintenance responsibilities. It's important to remember that whether renting or buying is better depends on your individual circumstances, goals, and lifestyle. What works for one person may not work for another. And that's myth number 2, busted. Renting is not always a waste of money. Our third myth is that real estate always appreciates in value. This belief is deeply ingrained in our collective consciousness. It's easy to understand why. After all, land is a finite resource, and as the saying goes, they're not making any more of it. So it must always go up in value, right? Well, not exactly. Let's take a closer look. First and foremost, real estate markets fluctuate. They always have and they always will. Boom and bust cycles are a fact of life in real estate, just as they are in any other market. During a boom, prices can skyrocket, fueling the belief that real estate always appreciates. But booms are typically followed by busts, when prices can drop significantly. It's a roller coaster ride, not a one-way ticket to the top. Then there's the matter of location. We've all heard the old adage, location, location, location. It's true. A beachfront property in Malibu is likely to appreciate much more than a comparable property in a declining industrial town. But even within the same city, appreciation rates can vary widely. A trendy downtown district might see robust appreciation, while a neighborhood on the outskirts might stagnate or even decline. Finally, we need to consider the condition of the property. A dilapidated old house isn't going to appreciate much, no matter where it's located. On the other hand, a well-maintained property in a desirable area could see healthy appreciation. But keep in mind, maintaining a property costs money, and those costs need to be factored into the equation. So, while it's true that real estate has the potential to appreciate, it's not a guarantee. It depends on a variety of factors, including market conditions, location, and the condition of the property. And even when real estate does appreciate, it's rarely a straight line upward. And just like that, we've busted myth number 3, real estate does not always appreciate. Now that we've busted some common real estate myths, let's recap what we've learned. First, we took on the myth that a 20% down payment is a must to buy a house. We've learned that while a large down payment can reduce your overall mortgage, there are plenty of options out there for potential homeowners who can't shell out a fifth of their home's cost up front. From government-backed loans to private lenders, a lower down payment isn't necessarily a barrier to homeownership. Next, we addressed the long-standing belief that renting is akin to throwing money away. We found out that renting can actually be a smart financial move in certain circumstances. It offers flexibility, less maintenance responsibility, and the ability to invest your money in other ventures. The key is to understand your financial situation and lifestyle needs before deciding to rent or buy. Our third myth was the idea that real estate always appreciates. Sure, over long periods real estate tends to increase in value, but it's not a guarantee, and there can be periods of decline or stagnation. Market conditions, location, the state of the property, and economic factors all play a role in a property's value. Real estate is not a surefire bet, and it's crucial to do your research and understand the market before making an investment. So, we can see that these myths, while common, aren't necessarily grounded in reality. They can create unnecessary barriers and fear, preventing potential homeowners and investors from making informed decisions. The real estate market is complex, and it's essential to arm yourself with knowledge and do your homework. Speak to professionals, do your research, and don't let myths cloud your judgment. And there you have it, folks. Don't let these myths hold you back in your real estate journey. Knowledge is power. We've come to the end of our myth-busting journey. Along the way, we've shattered some of the most common misconceptions about the real estate market. Remember, these myths can lead to misguided decisions, so it's crucial to separate fact from fiction. The truth, as we've seen, can often surprise us. Buying a house without a 20% down payment? Possible. Renting isn't always throwing money away, and real estate doesn't always appreciate. Knowledge is power, and by debunking these myths, we've armed you with valuable insights for your real estate journey. Now, if you found this information helpful, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with your friends and family. Let's spread the truth and bust more myths together. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more myth-busting content. Until next time, remember, not all that glitters in real estate is gold. Stay informed and keep busting those myths.